My name is Don Coyas, and I am a member of the Mohican Nation, and I'm from the Turtle Clan on my mother's side. And I was told when I was very young, before that we ever start anything, it's very important for us to do an opening. And so what I like to do before this series starts is to do an opening, but also to explain what an opening is and the purpose and the intent of an opening. And that an opening ceremony, what it allows us to do is to take that time to interconnect. In order to do this interconnectedness, then I'd like to explain this, what we call an altar, or it's a sacred spot. And if you look down at the sacred spot, one of the things you will see is there is a big red cloth. And so when we form a circle, and when we are going to work on this interconnectedness, then there's two things that we're supposed to think about. The first thing we're supposed to think about when we look at the big red cloth is about the universe. That the Creator made a universe, and that universe is very big. And that universe is designed with a cycle system. Planets circle, the moon circles, cycle of life, baby, youth, adult, elder, seasons, spring, summer, fall, winter. And then a part of that universe, there is an earth upon which we live as human beings. And that everything then on the earth, it participates in an interconnected system. The little bugs are eaten by the bigger bugs, are eaten by the birds, are eaten by. And we all live in an interconnected system. So that whenever we start, then we need to realize that we are each a small part of something big. Because it's very easy sometimes for us to realize that we think that we're the center of the universe and everything cycles around us. So if we think that we're the center of the universe and everything cycles around us, then you cannot interconnect. You are only able to interconnect whenever you realize consciously you are a small part of something big. That's what we connect to. Then the elders, they went on to explain that there's something big that the Creator made, that it functions according to a set of principles, according to a set of laws, and according to a set of values. So then it means everybody on the earth, then, we must live in harmony with these principle laws and values. So that's the first thing that we're supposed to think about when we sit in a circle, for us to consciously say, I'm a small part of something big. Then you'll notice the next thing on this altar, there are 4 colors. There's red, yellow, black, and white. And what those 4 colors represent is the human race. And that there are 4 colors to the human race. In other words, there's only one race. There aren't 4 races. And that race happens to be the human. It just so happens that each one of us are different colors. Like flowers are all created equal. They're just different colors from each other, but they're flowers. You have trees, different types of trees. You have humans, different types of humans. So as we work together in this healing process, we need to realize, as we go around this circle, everyone is welcome. If you are red, you're welcome. Yellow, you're welcome. Black, you're welcome. White, you're welcome. That everyone is welcome here. So we need then to also understand interconnectedness. Everything, we need to realize we're all part of one race, the human race. Then you will notice in the center of this altar there's a shell. And what that shell represents is the womb. It's the womb of the earth. And we believe that the earth has a frequency, it has a heartbeat. The old people say the heartbeat of the earth. And that we put that shell there to attract that heartbeat. That shape of that shell will make the heartbeat come. And when that heartbeat comes, that is this frequency of which interconnectedness happens. Maybe to make it make sense, if you had like an antenna dish, you see them sometimes, that round antenna dish is shaped like a shell. And that frequency comes into that shell. So it takes a certain shape to attract certain frequencies. So a long time ago, the old people knew if you put a shell there, you would attract that heartbeat of the earth. And it's that slow rate, like the beat of a drum, that's what makes the heartbeat come here. And it's at that heartbeat where interconnectedness happens. Then you'll also notice inside of that shell there is some sage leaves. And what sage is it's the leaves from a plant, sage plant. Now we believe that every plant has a purpose. We know that pharmaceutical companies are always looking for the medicine in these plants so they can get that medicine and sell it. But a sage leaves, what it does is it has the ability to make calm. It's a calming medicine. Like some medicines are for headaches, some medicines for earaches. This medicine is a calming medicine. So we put this sage in here to make calm. And so I'm going to light this sage. And the reason we light the sage is by lighting the sage, that is how the medicine is released. Some plants, you soak them in water, and then you drink it as tea. And you'll notice that water changes color. So the medicine goes into the water, then you drink it. So every plant has a way to release the medicine. The medicine is kept secret, or is kept intact until you do the thing to release it. So how we release the medicine in sage is by lighting it. So I'm going to go light this sage, and I will bring that sage bowl around to each of you to allow you to smudge. First of all, you cannot smudge wrong. So as I present to you that sage, I'd ask you to take that smoke and to bring it first into your heart area, and then bring that sage up over your head. What that does, that connects the greatest distance that the human being must travel in its whole life, 18 inches, from the head to the heart. Sometimes it takes us years to make that journey. So the sage helps to clear those two areas out, connect both the head and the heart. And that's the purpose of the sage. Then we'll do the smudging with this eagle fan. And this was given to us by the elders. And we use this fan for us to remember, and as we go through this next 2 days, to remember the greatest learning occurs whenever we are willing to switch a point of view. That the universe is made up of many points of view. You have a mouse's point of view, you have an eagle's point of view. And that sometimes if we only get stuck in one point of view and we're not willing to switch points of view, then that's all you see. So we use this eagle's fan to remember there's also an eagle's point of view. So you have a mouse's point of view and an eagle's point of view. And they are different points of view. Like maybe if you listen to the mouse's point of view. See a mouse, he gets up in the morning, gets ready to go to work, or gets into recovery. Oh my God, I can't make no recovery. My life's all messed up. I've been in a relationship. I'll never recover. I'll never make it. I'm doomed. It's gone. Everything's gone forever. I'm whatever. So if you hear that mouse talk, that's the way that mouse sees it. But of course, by 11 o'clock, tension in the shoulders. By 3 o'clock, migrating headaches. Just putting ourselves down. I'm no good. Look at this. God in it apples. But that's a mouse's point of view. But also while that mouse is experiencing that experience high above, there's this eagle soaring around. Of course, that eagle sees way, way different than the mouse. Now, that eagle that watches the mouse, and this mouse is just tearing itself up, and I'm not going to make it, and it's no good, and there's no way. But finally, that eagle, it sees things the mouse doesn't, so finally it shouts down to that mouse and says, hey, mouse, lighten up. Get a life. I mean, there's other things. We can recover. We can get sober. We can get well again. And so we use this fan for us to remember that some of the things we're going to look at these next couple of days, we're going to look at an eagle's point of view. We're going to look at a point of view that maybe some of us have been stuck in, a mouse's point of view too long, and to look at another point of view. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to light this sage, and I'll kind of explain this as we go around the circle. So you'll see we have these 4 colors. Then I will light this sage, and you'll see that this sage will turn to smoke. And it is a releasing of that smoke where the calming medicine from the sage plant is there. And then we run the fan through that smoke. And then we take and we go counterclockwise in a circle 4 times. And the reason we go 4 times, that is one complete circle that shows respect for the red direction, total respect for each of the 4 directions. And that's why we do that. So I will bring this sage around to each one of you, and if you choose to smudge with this. So she will draw that sage into her heart area and up over her head. Then as we do this, we need to realize that everything travels in a circle. Energy travels in a circle. All the planets travel in a circle. So interconnectedness travels in a circle. So as each person cleanses their inside, their heart and their head, then the connectedness starts to travel in a circle. You cannot connect in a straight line. Energy doesn't work that way. And if you notice, there's a calmness now amongst ourselves. That means that circle is interconnected. We call that interconnected level, in our language, we call it netashniha. Netashniha is a feeling. So it's like when our eyes meet, that's the first level of connectedness. Then if you notice, there's a second later, there's a feeling goes across. And that's when we acknowledge. That level is called netashniha. That's the interconnectedness. That's the level that we want to get everyone to get before we start.